All right, everybody. Good afternoon. Not really a good afternoon because it is still Hangover Monday, but we got to move on. We got to keep going to the next thing. We got to figure out what's going to be next for these Seahawks. And we're going to do a video that I typically don't do on Mondays after games because, generally speaking, I feel like injury information and injury updates that you get on a Monday after a game are pretty uninformative, with the exception of the times where somebody suffers a major injury and is going to miss a lot of time. I feel like the Monday updates after a game tend to be kind of thin, but I'm going to make an exception this week because I think the updates we got from McDonald on Seattle Sports Radio this morning were actually fairly impactful. And there are so many injuries on this defense right now. This is going to be the hot topic for basically the entire week. Back in 60 seconds. All right, guys, let's take a minute so I can tell you about Sleeper, a one-stop shop for all your sports needs. You can celebrate and chat on sports games in real time with other users. You can get the fastest scores, blazing fast sports news and sports alerts right at your fingertips. And of course, you can use Sleeper to play in fantasy leagues and win real money on picks contests. This is the way sports were meant to be enjoyed together. So download Sleeper today. Use promo code SBN to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. And you can pair that with another promo they have right now where you can get a $20 entry free with no deposit required. So get both of those things going. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states and growing. So check out Sleeper today, get to it, and go have some fun with sports this year. All right, welcome back. So I think we all have a general understanding that the defense is banged up right now. And unfortunately, while McDonald did give up some pretty interesting tidbits of information this morning, I don't think any of them are good. I don't think any of this qualifies as really good news for the Seahawks. And it sounds like there's going to have to be a big change this week. Either you're going to have to bring in somebody or you're going to have to change the way you're playing defense, because looking back at yesterday's game, for most of that, well, I'd say most of the game, but really we're talking about the second half. The question was not, are we going to get a stop? The question was, are we going to force Tampa Bay into a second down? Like, it was that bad. It was completely non-competitive, and we're going to have to do something different. Because I'm not getting the sense any of this is going to get better anytime soon. So Mike McDonald talked about the following players and gave the following updates. We'll start with Derek Hall. He's a guy who got hurt after like 5 minutes, it felt like, in that game. Edge rusher, outside linebacker Derek Hall. According to McDonald, he might miss the next game and maybe a couple of games with the oblique injury. So, yeah. If McDonald is already saying he might miss the next game, probably safe to assume that he will miss the next game. And if McDonald's already talking about maybe missing a couple games, don't be surprised if he misses like a month. Like that's, I think, the cautiously pessimistic approach to take right now. Like, if he doesn't go on IR and he only misses a couple games, then great. But as a Seahawks fan right now, my expectation is that he goes on IR in the next couple days. I got the sense the injury was pretty serious when they immediately declared him out for the game. And it's an oblique injury, which is no joke. So I'm kind of anticipating he misses about a month. Just starting with that. McDonald had no update on Reek Woolen, but that's a concussion. So there's really not anything that he can say there. There's really not much he can offer at. Woolen's just going to have to go through the concussion protocol, and he'll get back on the field when he clears it. And that usually takes a couple weeks, but sometimes it takes longer. And I would be very surprised if he plays this week, and I would be pretty surprised if he played the following week. So those are the two guys who actually got hurt yesterday. Doesn't look good there. And as hard as I've been on Reek Woolen this year, and I think he deserves it, and I don't think Reek Woolen played a particularly good game yesterday either before he got hurt, but after he got hurt, you did pretty clearly get the sense that he is still the best that we got. Like, we gave other players opportunities to do stuff yesterday, and they were worse. Darion Kendrick, Josh Jobe, shoot. Oh, of course, Nehemiah Pritchett. That's, if anything, the big one. So, not good here. And then he spoke a little bit about the three starters that weren't able to even start the game yesterday because of injury: Witherspoon, Love, and D-Law. So these are the three guys we're trying to get back. McDonald said of Witherspoon, and Witherspoon's probably the big one of these three, especially now, his knee is getting imaged as we speak. I am not encouraged by that. I don't think I need to elaborate too much on that. That doesn't sound like, oh, everything's cool and he'll be back any day now. That doesn't sound like that to me. So that is not an encouraging update in my book. I don't like the sound of that. Granted, if the imaging comes back clean, then we're probably good. But the fact that it's getting imaged as we speak means they don't know. And they don't know could easily turn into he's going to be out a month, or he's going to be out for the next game, or he's going to be out even longer than that. Who knows? But question mark right now. And given the fact that Witherspoon was injured throughout the mini bye week, and now we're here and we still don't know, is certainly frustrating. He gave the impression that Love might practice Wednesday or Thursday, but he still didn't sound super confident about it. So that's the one guy who it seems like we've got a really good chance of getting back. I didn't get the sense the injury he had was massively significant anyway. So I think we got a good chance of getting Julian Love back. I'll go that far. That's about the most optimism I have. For D-Law, we didn't really get too much there, but what McDonald said is that he's hopeful that he can practice this week. And that could be okay. But again, D-Law's an older player. He's not going to recover from injuries the same way as these younger guys. So if he misses this week too, I'm not going to be shocked. So let's think about this for a second, guys. We have two edge rushers who could be out. At minimum, Hall's going to be out for a little bit. I think we can all just accept that. And if you're not accepting that, then I think you're fooling yourself a little bit. And look, if it happens, amazing. But looks like D-Law's going to miss some time. D-Law could miss another game. So those are two of your four edge rushers. So you are now very thin at edge. You either need Mike Morris to be awesome for you for a little bit, or you need to bring in somebody else, or you need Jared Ivey to play well beyond any reasonable expectation. You've got two corners that could be out with Witherspoon and Woolen, your two starting outside corners, which leaves you with, I don't know what route you take at this point. Everybody else you tried to play yesterday didn't get it done. And look, Josh Jobe in general has been pretty good for you, but you've seen the limitations these last couple of weeks. You could argue the last 3 weeks there have been big problems. Is it, obviously, Eamon Wari plays the nickel. Okay, I don't hate that, but is it Pritchett? Is it Shaq? Is it, like what else do you do? And, by the way, you still have the Julian Love thing where it sounds like he's working his way back, and I got optimism there, but, ooh. Trevor Lawrence might have 500 passing yards next Sunday. Be mentally prepared for it is what I'm trying to say here. All right, see you guys later. Go Hawks. Just a quick injury update. Back to your regularly scheduled Monday content.